Hello everybody, if you're coming back to my channel, thank you for coming back, and if you're new, please like, comment, and subscribe. So today we're going to be in 2 Kings 11, and today I want to talk about if you are alive, God has a plan for you. And so what happens in 2 Kings 11 is the king died, and the king was Ahaziah, and his mom, Athaliah, when she learned that her son was dead, she began to destroy the rest of the royal family, which is her family, because she was part of that royal family. She decided she wanted to destroy all of them so she can have all the power for herself. Well, the king's sister took the baby, which was Athaliah's granddaughter. She hid her away so she couldn't kill that baby while she was killing the rest of the royal family. And that is a very big blessing and a big thing. And that baby was Joash. Joash? Joash. You figure it out. But we're going to call Joash. And Solomon reigned from the rest. And so he was away and safe, and then she killed the rest of the family. And that's also very interesting because I think females are not really mentioned too much in the Bible, because back in those days, a female was kind of just somebody that supported the male, took care of the kids, did the cooking. It wasn't really like they had much power back in those days. So now we're talking about a female who was queen for a time. I feel like when we think of a female, especially her being a mother and a grandmother, we usually think of mothers and women as caretakers, a safe place to come to. And the male is usually the punisher, the one that's going to be hard on you, going to teach you how to go out and do all these things. And a woman is somebody we come to for, the caretaking and to feel comfort and in that place. And for her to be very power hungry and she was not a good queen, obviously, because she killed her family. I mean, that's the start right there of a bad queen. She killed her whole family and was not that comforting space. So the baby was able to get away. Joash. So he was able to get away, and she was just a bad queen. And then the people ended up doing Joash as a king, and at 7 years old, they did him as king, and she tore her clothes in despair when she realized all this, and then they ended up killing her because she was just not a good queen for them. So now Joash is coming king, and he's going to end up being a good king, and I'll get more into that when I talk about 12 tomorrow. But it's amazing how he was the one person in the family that ended up being saved, and God has such a plan for him, because he's not going to also be raised in that royal family that was very that had bad kings and did bad things and was worshiping other gods. He was raised outside of that, so when it was time for him to and he ended up becoming king because he was in that bloodline, and people knew that he was able to be raised in such a way around the Lord's people. So it was like God had a whole plan for him even when he was just an infant, and before he was even born, God had a plan for him and knew what he was going to become, and he was looking out for him, because even though maybe his blood was from a bad family and some bad people, he was able to become something so much greater than what his family was and what he was born into. So God looks out for you, and you sometimes may don't feel it right now of, why am I alive? Why am I here? I just go to work and I come home and I watch TV and I just go, and that's my same routine. I don't have nothing. I live in an apartment. I just don't do much for myself. There's nothing much. How could God have a plan for me? Look at the family I come from. We're all drug addicts. We don't do nothing with ourselves. We don't do nothing with our life. But God has such a big plan for you wherever you are in your life, no matter what you are, what you're doing. God has a plan for your life, because if you are alive, God has a plan for you that you may not see it, But he makes a plan for you, even no matter what the circumstance you are. God has a plan for you, just like he did for Joash. That whole family was meant to lie, but God kept him out of it. So keep on living, keep on doing what you're doing, because God is going to have a plan for you, and he might be preparing you for something that's big to come. So make sure you are doing what you need to do. Surround yourself by the people, and then God is going to have a plan for you. So don't be discouraged. Don't just feel like there's nothing left to me. I'm just like any other individual. Because you are special. God has created you in his image. God knows all the amount of hair on your head, and he chose you with what your eyes color going to be, how he wants your face to be, how tall he wants you to be, he created you with all this stuff. So if somebody created you that specifically with that much care, he has something planned for you that's going to be a part of his plan. So just know that you are so special, and that God is going to do something with you, and he created you in such a way where he wants you to do something that nobody else on this earth could do it. He picked you out for you to have that plan of touching somebody else's heart, changing somebody else's life. If you're able to save one life, that is worth it 1,000 times. So just keep doing what you're doing, and think about all the close calls in your life of those almost wrecks, those almost falling and almost hitting your head, those almost scary moments in your life where it's like, oh, I could have been dead. And he kept you alive. He protected you. He protected you in that wreck. He protected you in that fall. Also, you could keep on doing your life plan of what he has in store for you. And so many people are dead at 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 60. And if he's keeping you alive, that means he has something out there for you, and don't waste it. So keep on living, keep on doing what you need to be doing, because I promise you, he has something in store for you that no other person can do, because he knows that you can do it, and this is what he wants you to do, and this is why he created you. So I hope y'all enjoy, and let's just know that you are special and that he has something out there for you. So please like, comment, and subscribe.